Good morning, everybody. It's the Early Bird Morning Show. It's 4 a.m. Eastern Time. It's 10 o'clock in Amsterdam. And it's a holiday in Amsterdam because it's our king's birthday. And normally there are in Holland, but because of COVID, there's really nothing going on except for our king visiting the high-tech area of this country, which is Eindhoven, and that's where ASML and Philips are located. So what do we have today? We have a nice show, I think, coming up. I wrote down some stocks. I wrote down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 stocks to discuss. You see now on my screen, no, you don't see that because I have to add this one. There you are. You see on my screen now NXP, which is a Dutch company, and it is on a New York Stock Exchange. And I just wanted to show you what this one did yesterday. It did very well. It bounced here at 201 and then came up till 206, and now another nice push in post-market to 2010. So NXP is a semiconductor, makes semiconductors amongst others, and they make them for automotive. I think that's around 30% of their revenue, and they make also semiconductors for artificial intelligence and Internet of Things, and that is the other 50% of their revenues. So it's a Dutch company, and you can trade it on the on New York Stock Exchange. Really like this company. It's now around 207, I think. Also has some problems with the semiconductor shortage, of course, but look at this on a weekly. Look at this for a channel. Is this or is this not a channel? You tell me. I know it is. Oh, let's put it in here. Well, you can play this one if you want to. If you're a swing trader or if you're an investor, you can trade this one, of course. It's just always a little bit difficult to say, okay, it's at its top right now for, let's see, since it opened in 210, it's at all-time highs. So a stock at all-time highs is really difficult to trade for me as a day trader and also as a swing trader or as an investor, because do you want to short a stock that's as high as this one? Do you anticipate that it will go up any further? It's really difficult for NXP, but I really like this stock. So I'm a day trader, and this show is all about day trading, but I just wanted to show you this one because it's never talked about in any of the shows. It's NXP. It's not a sexy name or something. It's not like AMD or in Tesla or one of the EV plays or tech stocks. It's just NXP. They're a quiet company. They make semiconductors and they do that very well. And if you want to swing trade something like this, then you can swing trade it between those two channels if you're so inclined to do. So yesterday was a great day. I think that we did very well on some stocks, and I cannot swear on this show because it's an American show and I'm from Amsterdam and I'm used to no, I'm not used to swearing. That would be very stupid to say, but well, what can I say? I'm Dutch, so I do have a big mouth sometimes. But I swear yesterday a few times and I'm going to show you why I did that. So I'm going to look back to what we did yesterday. And if you want to see what I do on the stocks that I talk about, then you really should look at my Twitter. It's you can see the handle under this video. Follow me, and you will see that I tweet out my the trades that I made, or the trades that I should have made, or the trades that you could have made, and so those are all the stocks that we talk about in this early bird show, and then you really can see why I put all these levels in, because I'm a level trader. Some of you may know that, but I talked to you about this in the beginning, but now we have 1,000 views a day, so there will be a lot of new viewers. I'm a level trader, which is more or less something that a lot of people do, of course. And what I do, I prepare a lot before I'm going into trading. Sometimes I trade pre-market stocks if they look good, mostly small ones, and that's the early bird part of this show, because if you can make a few bucks, well, everybody is asleep, well, why won't you? And when I'm preparing for my day trading, I am putting a lot of work in that. I look at levels, I look at positions, I look at will it go up or will it go down, and when I draw my levels, then I have 10 to 20 stocks on watch on 3 screens, not more than that, not 6 or 18 or 25, just 3 screens with my scanner and with my alerts, and then I'm going to trade that, and I'm going to trade off those levels. What I normally do is that I do the long reversal play. So the long reversal play is one of my favorites, and in the afternoon my short reversal play is also a favorite, and sometimes I do breakout trades if I see enough potential and enough volume and enough price action to do so, but my real strategy is long reversal and fewer plays. Hey OP, nice to see you. Yeah, Tesla, the Tesla earnings yesterday, we have to talk about that also. Tesla came out with their earnings, and what I told you yesterday is that they don't make a lot of money on selling cars, but they do make a lot of money selling certificates, and they make a lot of more money in selling, you know what, Bitcoin. So the biggest part of the profit was on Bitcoin. Well, the biggest part of the profit, when you look at those numbers on Tesla, what you really see, and that was stunning to me, is that they lose money on making cars. You heard me say that. They lose money on making cars, and they make money on selling Bitcoin. So just look at Tesla yesterday. This is what happened. I told you yesterday I'm not going to get into Tesla as a day trader. It's a big stock. And I leave it up to you guys to determine what to do. It looks like, you know what it looks like. It just barely now holds this 730 mark here, 722, 730 mark. It's still above its 50 EMA, so it's still about its 50 moving average. So I'm really curious if it's going to hold that 700 mark today. That's approximate to 700. It's approximate the 50 moving average on the daily today. So that's on Tesla. Okay, guys, hit that likes button and hit that subscribe button if you like the show. We really need that here at Benzinga. What we want to do is we want to stream all day long, and you will see some changes in programming today. So be aware of that. There's going to be some live trading when markets go open at 3:30. So it's going to be an exciting day also for Benzinga, because the program has been altered a little bit, and so just let me know what you think of that, guys. And it's all about learning here at Benzinga. So please be sure that I'm just going to put up now my watch list just to see what's happening now in pre-market, if something's happening at all. And there's no volume in pre-market, we know that already. This is NSPR. That could have been a nice trade if you were in pre-market, of course, if you see this one. So just get this one out of the way. If you're in buying the rip, here, this is the 5-minute candle on the left side of my screen, and on the right hand of my screen is the 1-minute chart. So if you're into buying the rip, then you could have told yourself, well, all right, if this one gets above the dollar here in opening, so opening price here is $1, close price post market was 50 cents, and it's just ripped through that $1 after this scary start in the first minute, but then in the second minute, this is what happened. And so if you're in buying a rip, then you really could have got into this one. I'm not doing that. I'm not buying rips. What I want to do and what I want to see is this first 5-minute candle. And after that first 5-minute candle, I want to see another candle making a new high, and then I'm going in. So with NSPR is in healthcare sector and is really taking off with 500% gains now. That's really something. RIBT, Rice Brand Technologies, also this big rip in the second 5 minutes. So this is really what you could have traded. So this is the first 5 minutes here. Let me get this one out of the way. So this is what you see here, first 5 minutes, nothing happening. Here, so I put my cursor on the left side of my screen, and then you see what's happening here on the right hand side. So then this 5-minute candle forms, and well, if you're into this kind of stuff, it also broke the $1 mark, and that's for any stock a real big thing. Then you could have said, okay, I can put my order at 1.3, or even wait till this one ended and then go in at 1.5, and then you sell the rip at 130 and 140. You never sell it at this highest point, of course, but at 135 you go in with a nice amount of, because the total in this minutes is 10,000. This one is 50,000. So you could have made a nice couple of bucks as an early bird when you get up at 4 Eastern time, or you sit behind your computer, Amsterdam time, 10 o'clock. So is there anybody from the States or anybody from Europe now watching this? Please let me know. I'm always curious. It's a split, Adam. Okay. Good morning, Stacy. USA East Coast. Then you're an early bird, Adam. Chicago. Okay, Tom, welcome to the show. Getting up early. Or going to sleep late. Also can be a possibility. Good morning from Andorra. Okay, Joey. Oh, Joe, sorry. So it's 10 o'clock also in Andorra. Andorra is on the Spanish and French border. Is it not? First time watcher. Okay, Tom. Welcome to the show. What we do here is that we look at some pre-market stocks that you could have traded. So these small ones, RIBT and NSPR, made real nice spikes if you're into that kind of stuff. Volume is very low, of course, compared to when markets are open. But as an early bird, you can really put in a few shares and make a couple of bucks on these big rips here. RIBT is now breathing a little bit, and I understand that emphasis is up here. NAKD is always in this one. SNDL always. ZOM a lot of times. Not doing anything right now. So we're going to talk some stocks, but first what I want to do is I want to go to yesterday. Sydney, Australia, Adelaide. All right, so it's it's 8 o'clock in Sydney or something, 6 o'clock. Yes, Joe. Andorra is between on the border. Yeah, it's a pre-released. No, 6 p.m. in Sydney, Australia. Welcome, Adelaide. Market's closed in Australia, I think. So pre-market is open now in the States. So we talked yesterday about some stocks, and I want to show you what I did on them. So you can follow me on Twitter on that. So just look at this one first. Yes, there we are. So on the early bird show yesterday, what we said, I really think AMD will be a play above 82.88 and 83.33. Well, you could have had a lot of fun with that. It went down for a while and then just hovered here along that 82.88 that we called out, and then spiked above it, and then really here this is your confirmation that this still is a level somehow, and this is also a level because this is what you see. It just had some trouble breaking through that, rejected it one more time, and then got above it, and you were in for the long run here and got up to 85 and even higher, I think, because this is the time frame from I think 2 hours into the exchange. Did anybody trade that who watched yesterday? Croatia, Frame, welcome. I love Croatia. It's a hidden treasure, I think, the hidden treasure of Europe, Croatia. Hey, everyone, good morning. Nice to see you again. Okay, Howard Cunningham has lost his dog. Where are you at, Howard? Or did you lose your Dochi? So did anyone play AMD yesterday? Hey, T-Conjer 6. Indeed, Frame, Croatia is really beautiful. Anyone play AMD? Let me know. I'm just curious if someone looked at the levels that we talked about yesterday. So I taught you about these levels. You broke them, and you could have played them on a long side. So there was another one yesterday that we talked about, and it was a failure for me. So I'm not only going to talk to you about all my successes, because that's going to be very boring. You learn a lot from traders when you see how successful they are, but I think you learn even more if you see what stupid mistakes you can make if you are a day trader, and I made such a stupid mistake. And I make them every day, guys. So I've been doing this in total for more than 5 years, and I still do this. I still make mistakes like a beginner sometimes, I think. So I was really disgusted with myself. We talked about this is Neo. This is a Neo chart. What you see here is these levels. This is 41, a little difficult to read, but this is, let's say 41. This is 42. And this was 42.50. We talked about these in pre-market show of in the early bird show yesterday. This is what happened into the open. It just got up a little bit and then rejected this 42. Well, not completely, but well. I thought, okay, this is confirmation that this is a resistance line. If it gets over that, then I'm gonna get in. So it got over that just with 2 or 3 cents. I had my limit order there, pushed on buy, and this is what happened after that. So it was a fake out here. Bought it at 42.05 or something like that, and then I saw this one. Oh, it's still not getting there. It's still resistance. Spike up and spike down. This is the 1 minute chart, I think, and then here I'm getting a little bit more nervous. I'm getting some confidence back here. Stayed in it, of course, here. Stayed in it, of course, here. And here I thought, well, okay, this is just madness here. It's not going to break this one. I'm going to get out. So I got out with a loss at 41.70 or something. And was stopped out and made a loss on this one. My target price was 42.50, so that's why I stayed in. So if I go into a stock, I really determine my target price. 42.50 was my target price. 41.75 was my stop loss. So that's a 1-to-2 ratio, and normally that's good enough for me. I really want a 1-to-3, to be honest, but 1-to-2 is also good enough, and I really was confident that this one would break. So what did I do wrong? Well, I didn't wait long enough in order to be sure that this really was some resistance that would break. So I got in with the first spike up, and that's just something that you shouldn't do. What I should have done, and what others did, I saw it also on my Twitter feeds. What others did, they just waited and waited and waited till almost 10 o'clock-ish Eastern time. Then it fell through that 41 here, and you don't like this candle because it's just an indication that it will go down again, but it regained some strength here, and what you see now here is that it got up after that, and you could have traded it nice on the upside. And someone else told me, well, I just faded it from 42 when I saw that it couldn't hold this one. This was resistance. I faded it, put in a short here, and played it to the short side. And then after that, you could also play it back to the long side if you that kind of trader. So for anyone that traded, it's like they should have, and why I put these levels in. That's just good for you. I'm happy that you did that. I did not do that. I was just too eager to get into this one because I really thought Neo was low and it could get up. It didn't. I was stopped out and lost on this trade. Hola, good morning from London. TC Tong, are you currently in BA? BA. Hola, Awala, morning from London, building a position in AFC Energy. That's great. You asked me about Palantir. That's nice. I'm going to write it down and get to that later, Ramon. Frans, you hardly buy into open. Yeah, that's it. That's very good of you, Frans, not to buy in this high open but I thought 42 is a level. It was resistance. I thought on this first little spike, okay, this is resistance, gets above the resistance now. Okay, boom, let's go. And I should not have done that. You're absolutely right. And then the last one that I want to talk to you about, that was yesterday. Please close. This one won't close now. Why not? I'm having some issues, guys, so I just want to show you this last one. I tweeted this out. There we are. So this is skills, SKLZ, and we also talked about these levels here at 1789, 1828, 1941, 2164. So this is what you see here is post market, and this is yesterday. I think these are 15-minute candles, but just to show you what happened here, it just fell through the 1789, so it just might fall through a level sometimes, and then you think, okay, play is over, but well, regained its strength here, and this is my confirmation that this one was a strong level. Didn't want to get into this one because, well, I just made a loss on Neo and didn't want to go into it right away, and thought, okay, we called 1789 as a level. I'm just going to wait till 1828 and get in there at 828 because I still have room enough till 1941 to make a nice profit on this one. So didn't get in here, but got here when it broke this level, and then got out here at 1941 and got out way too early because it then really got to this 2150 mark somewhere, and I sold it here at 1941 because I didn't put in my range orders like I should and like I normally do, because emotion is then turned out. And I thought 1941, I saw some hesitation here. I saw some big sellers here on my level 2. Sold it at 1941. And that was also because I lost on my second trade of the day. That's the Neo trade, and then there's something going through your head, and you're thinking, well, if I'm going to take this one, then I'm going to still make a nice profit. You can see that this is more than $1 profit, and I'm going to be having a nice big green day and be all okay with that. So I got out way too soon, and I think that is the problem with a lot of traders. The exit strategy. Jen, thanks, Javi, I think I have to say. You're American and you're watching from Sweden. Okay. What are you doing in Sweden? Are you living there, or are you on are these holidays? Futu, Joe. I'm gonna talk about Futu also later. There's never a perfect exit point. No, I agree with you on that one, Frans. So did I do good yesterday? Yes, I did good. But what I really would have liked it, I would have done better. But that was yesterday. I'm starting every day because I'm a day trader at zero, and I end today on zero, which means no shares outstanding. So can get a good night rest. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna talk some stocks, and of course we're gonna talk about the stock that we talked about all week long last week, and it's OCGN. This was OCGN. Now it's doing in pre-market, so it opens here at 11:30 ish. Got as high as, what is this, 1166. Now this is the turn. You can really now hear that I'm in Amsterdam because you hear now those sirens, Dutch sirens, of a fire truck passing by. This is a double top. If you ever saw one, then this is the double top. So if you fade this one, you really have to look at this level now, 1166. This is what it did yesterday. This is what it did yesterday. So also a big rejection again, and now tries to get above that again. But this is really something that I want to trade when I see price action on the day. So I'm not going to call any levels today for OCGN except this 1166, and just watch price action and trade this one on price action if I'm going to trade it at all, because it's a fierce stock to trade. Look at this. Look at this pullback on the 5 minute. This one. Okay, so that's OCGN. Then I also want to have a peek at FCell. This is because we talked about FCell for some time, a few days in a row now. Sorry, I was distracted. FCell, that's what we talked about. Yeah, we talked about FCell on the day that this big candle here formed. This candle here, and what we talked about is that, well, probably it will be hovering around this area 934.10, and it did, as you can see. So this, we thought, well, is this the turnaround? Because you see this enormous line here that you really don't want to see on an EV play, but we talked about a lot of EV plays on, I think Thursday it was last week, when you had the big clean tech show on Benzinga. You still can watch that back on the YouTube channel of Benzinga. Real interesting stuff there. And this is the decline of FCell. We thought, is this the retracement? We said, okay, it will be hovering around this price in this square here, and it did. And yesterday it broke out of that square. It's now above its 9 EMA on the daily, and it's closing into this 20 EMA on the daily, 1127. And what you really want to see on FCell now is, after this move here, that it of course breaks the high of yesterday, because if it does that, then you can see after a consolidation of only 2 days, it's really going up again. But you never know, because of the Tesla news yesterday, what it will do. So you don't want to see it break under that 9 EMA here again. So 1028 is also going to be a level, and then this one is gone now, and This one's also gone, and you don't want to see it pull back to 934 or even to this one. So levels for FCell to day trade it today are 1028, 1073, 1127. It has an AGR of $93, so it can move in one day, but it can also be more volatile than that. So that's on FCell. You really want to see this one break and continuation of this uptrend. And I'm really curious if that's going to happen with maybe negative news on FCell. Not negative news, but negative sentiment on FCell. Okay, you're living there, Gabi. Nice. CGLD USD. CGLD. Just about to break out. Is that the ticker? CGLD. CGLD. I'm not sure about the ticker name there, Lufix. Can't pull this one up on my screen, so. Can you take a look at UXIN? I'm going to write that down frame. Memphis we're going to talk about. Oh, it's a crypto. Oh, that's why. Yeah, I'm doing stocks only, Lufix. That's why I'm just a little bit confused about this. I thought it's a strange ticker. I'm going to do UXIN right now frame, and that's because you're from Croatia. Okay, looking at the daily, you are in at 126 yesterday. Well, you did good. We call that as a level. So you got in here at 126. Why did you take profit here? I would have. After a move like this, I would have. And after you stayed in for this whole move, so you're in at 126, so you're a swing trader. I would have sold 75% of my shares here somewhere, so to make a nice profit. But yeah, well, I'm a day trader, so you have $126. Oh, that was. Am I just now looking at the wrong chart, or what am I doing? 126. You are in at 126 from. Not yesterday, I think then, but Friday. Well, you can nothing say about this, and then you have nerves of steel. I think if you just stay in this one, if you're in at 126, then I would say ring the register and take profit, and you can always get back in again. So then you made your profit, or you sold 75% of your shares, because what can you say after a move like this? Really. You cannot say, okay, there are some. So will this be a one day a one-day bullish flag, a big one. I'm not going to advise you on this one, but for information purposes only, if I was in this, I would have sold it already and not stay in this, because if you're confident about this play, then you can always get in back in if you think, okay, it has to break this one to get big back in again, but then you already made your profit, so you're a happy camper then. Okay, Freenal, yeah, well, you did real good. Roran, oil reopening play. Okay, OP, it's MFIS. I'm gonna look at MFIS for you. Yeah, that's a crazy stock. We saw that yesterday, of course. And we're seeing that now again. So this is the opening. Gets back up there now. This could have been a nice reversal play if you're into that in pre-market. MFIS is making just crazy moves right now. Is this one pumped by Reddit or something? Or what's going on with MFIS? Look at this. Talked about these levels yesterday. Those are no longer levels, of course. And well, just tell me. I cannot put in my levels here for a trade like this. So it's at, is it all-time highs here on it? So it's getting back here now at levels from 2000. What is this? Let's see on a monthly. 210 or something. This is really crazy. The split here. This is the monthly on on MFIS. So it makes no sense to put in levels from a year ago or 2 years ago, I think, on this one. So just play this one from the levels that you see here. If you want to play that one, I think you should be very cautious about this one. Traded up nicely yesterday, as we saw. And you can trade this one, but I'm not going to put any levels in. What you can do, if it's just not breaking this one again, this 31 level, then you can maybe play a VWAP bounce. It bounces here on VWAP and stays strong. But you really have to look at price action if you want to play this one, and look at volume also, because this is really a mover. I don't have to tell you that. Oh, it's a meme EV stock. Okay. Nice OP. Nice call. It was on my watch list, if you believe it. You believe it, of course. Okay, guys. We're going to talk about some stocks. So this was what did we do? OCGN did we do? FCL did we do? I have LXP. I'm not sure why I put it on, because I'm not. Okay, I'm not going to talk about that one. So that's craziness right there. Let's talk about Fords. Let's talk about Ford. What will Ford do? I drew in these. As you may remember, this is my spectacular drawing. My drawing skills are still not what they should be. Yesterday we saw this one, and then we thought, well, okay, will this 20 EMA here, will this one hold? So I predicted, I guessed that the next day this would be the candle that we need in order to make some gain. So, and it's forming that candle right now. So what you really want to see now on Ford here is that it holds this level here. It's a very cheap stock, so I think it's going into earnings, and I showed you the earnings yesterday on this one. So you really don't want to see that one go under 12.21. This one. So that's the big level. And then the next one is at 12. So you can all 12.44. Okay. So this is what I want to see for fill, but I'm not sure it's going to go to 12.50. So 12.44 will be a first first resistance point. You really wanted to hold at 12.21. You want to see some strength in Ford because of earnings coming up, and you want to see at least this 12 holding here. I'm really curious if Ford will follow the pattern that I guessed a few days back or yesterday. This should be the pattern right now in going up, and this is going up into earnings, and this will be earnings day. So I'm very curious if this one will form its way. We're going to follow that stock all week long. Then look at AAL. I just told you yesterday that US citizens can fly to Europe again this summer. I don't know exactly when, but that's the plan. And well, I just thought that AAL as an airline would be profiting from that, and it did. It was a nice move, nothing too spectacular, of course, but nice move up. You could have played that and didn't call out any levels on that one, I think, yesterday, but you could really play this one just because on the rumor that you can fly to Europe again in this summer if you are from the United States. Proyecto Invicto, good morning. Gabi, WDFC. Wrote that one down also. I'm going to talk about that one also in the next 10 minutes. So we're going to make some. What else do we have? We have AMD. We talked about this one earlier. I showed you this one on my Twitter feeds. AMD, this is AMD. Will it or will it not get the break it above that price? I played it yesterday, and this was its second day run. You just have to watch if there's a lot of volume coming in now to make another play on that. You really have to look at price action. And what you really want to say, of course, is that it breaks this high of yesterday. So let's say 86-ish is the level on that one if you want to play that one. We talked about it enough. SKL said we talked about AMD in XP. Then we also talked about another Dutch company yesterday, and that is Philips. And I'm really stunned about what happened here. So no, I'm not really stunned about it, not really, of course, but this is what we looked at yesterday. Just on earnings, they had good earnings, and this is a classic buy the rumor news. So this is the daily buying in, you're buying in, because they expect good news. Good news comes in, and then it falls down. So this is what we call buy the rumor, sell the news. Never buy into the news, but also every time buy into the rumor and then sell into the news. Okay, we wrote some names down from our chat. Palantir first. This is Palantir. We called out this level a few days ago, 22.54. Nice uptrend after this. Getting back here, making here its first higher high. Then if you want to look at it, this is a higher low compared to this low, if you see that. So what you really want to see, if you want to continue this trend now, that the next high that's going to make is going to be above this one, and that's 26.26. It's now at 24.14. It can move 1.24 in one day as an average, but you see this blue line here, that's the 50 moving average, and that's now around that 24.28, and it was also the high of yesterday, 24.26. So you want to see it break this level to get long on this one, or short it into this level, of course. So you can use levels in two ways. As I just showed you, I was stupid enough to get into a level on opening, hoping that it would break this one. The other level is here, 9 EMA and 20 EMA closing in. And if you believe in crosses, then this might be a sign for you to really be careful. I really don't see that pattern too often. I'm just saying this will be a level also, 23.58. Might just be an intraday play on Palantir, but looking at pre-market action, not really. Post-market also not really, no volume at all. So 24.28, 23.38 are the two levels for Palantir to play right now. Then Futu, F-U-T-U, Futu. Looking at the daily first, so always trying to look at the higher time frame to see this trend going on here right now. This just looks just fine to me. So you got this big pop up, then here the correction, and people are thinking, well, okay, that's just enough. And from this low here, this is a higher low, this is a higher low, this is a higher low, and you want to see this also be a higher low to stay bullish on that one. This one can move 13 points on a day, so 142 has to hold, of course. And it just got above 9 EMA and 20 EMA yesterday. Lines touching right now. Not going to go into that right now. There's some theory about that, what that means. but I just want to see this one stay above 146 and then just make it 146.50, because then you can see that 9 EMA and 20 EMA are support on this one, and then you can play it to the upside. And then here is blue sky. $159.66. Maybe just no, there's nothing here. 158. You really have to see that this one 146.15 is holding, so play it on a long side above that level, and then you're going to be all right on Futu. These are nice moves, of course, that you see now pre-market here. If you want to, then you can say, okay, it rejects this price here at 150. So it also could be some level, because it already had some problems here, just shy of that one. So that's Futu for you. Those are the levels for Futu: 146.50, 150.80, 142.60. We did do UXEN, didn't we? So that was the small one, yeah. And then OIS oil. Do you mean? They meant the crude oil, I think, of course. So I'm not into commodities. WDFC. WDFC. No action here in pre-market. Not really. No volume. Let's look at the daily. Oh, yes. I see why you like this stock. I don't know who put it out there, but I see why you like this stock. This is a gap down, then just hovers here and tries. This is the daily that you're looking at now on my screen. Then just tries to hold this one, this 200 SME, and while it holds it also 250.63, and this is 249.66. So this 250 level is a level. False. It's also 200 SME. I'm sorry. So I'm just going to call 250 to be the level here on the as a support, and now it runs into this green line, which is the 9 EMA on a daily, and it has trouble breaking that. So you see attempt 1, attempt 2, not really an attempt, and this is the third attempt to break this 9 EMA. So what you want to see, if you're on a long side, and you want to see this one breaking, and if you're a short player, then you can short at 260 and then back to the 250 for WDFC. Microsoft is corrupt. Okay. I'm Scottish. Amazon wants 3,600. Yeah. I really think that it wants that it has earnings today or tomorrow. I'm not sure. That's a big mean stock, of course. Amazon 3,400 now. This is the daily. You're just gonna see if it's gonna break all-time highs for Amazon. I'm not playing that one, by the way. Okay, guys, please watch. No, not watch. Hit that like button, smash that like button, share this with your friends. We had almost 1,000 views again yesterday, so let's keep this show on the road. It's the first European show. It's a European show, but we talk American stocks. We want to do this 24/7 at Benzinga, and please, we really need those likes. YouTube really likes them. So hit that like button and be sure that you are a happy trader today. So take no risk that I wouldn't take. Be sure that you have your risk management in order. Be sure that you trade according to your own plan. Don't follow me or anybody else. And this show is for information purposes only. You know that, but I'm going to tell you time after time. Be sure that you do your own due diligence on any of this. Thanks for watching this one. Hit the like and hit the subscribe. There's a slightly different programming on Benzinga today. Just look at the YouTube channel and you can see that. Enjoy the pre-market prep show with Spencer, Joel, and Double D. And I'll be back tomorrow as an early bird at 4 Eastern time and at 10 o'clock Amsterdam time. Thanks all, everybody.